Watching live, type in hashtag live, just so I know you're there and you're watching. And many of you watch the replay, so please type in hashtag replay so I know that you've watched this video. This is about investing in property and creating financial freedom. This is for our freedom tribe. So if you want to invest in property, you want to create freedom, you should be watching this, so pay attention. But if you get offended easy and you're a snowflake, I suggest you switch off now because it's probably not for you.
My mate George here, he retired at the age of 37 by investing in property. Mate, I feel like I'm with royalty today.
I think George is a great mentor because he really does care. The George I know, I met him 3 years ago, he does care. That's why he does his work. So I can talk to you about cash flow and all those things. George is better at that than me.
Property guru George Markowski from Positive Property Solution joins us now. George, good morning to you.
How are you, George?
Okay guys, me and my team are about to go live, so make sure you grab your beverage of choice, sit down, and you're in for an amazing show. Hello and welcome. Hello to the Positive Property Show.
Hello everyone. Hey Freedom Tribe. Welcome to the Positive Property Show. We've got your host here, George Markowski, and I'm Christina Markowski. Thank you so much for joining us. We are live and loud.
I was going to say aloha because we just got back from Hawaii.
Yes, aloha. I didn't get much of a tan, unfortunately, but
I did.
I can always get a tan in Bali.
That's right. So look, tonight we're going to talk about how to collect the $200,000 you're leaving on the table.
Yes, please.
Yes.
I'd like an extra $200,000 in my pocket. Type in the chat and let us know if you would too.
Exactly. And I'll tell you how this came
Hashtag
about.
cash.
No cash here, Chopper.
Hashtag show me the money.
So what I want to do is I want to try to talk to people and explain the principles about property investing, because for a lot of people, investing in property seems very hard and complicated. But when you understand the core principles, it's actually very easy. And that's what I want to explain.
It's a bit like everything unknown. Even when you think about it when you're a kid, thinking about even just a simple thing like riding a bike, you know, when you don't know how to do it, how do you learn? You learn with your training wheels on.
That's right. And what I want to do is I want to show, peek behind the curtain and show people what we've been doing in our program, right? Which is one thing. But what I want to talk about is I've actually systemized the whole process of buying a property. It's like a flow chart, so you can make decisions easy, because there's simple things like, for example, and this is one big thing I'm going to talk about tonight, I'm going to explain, is, you know, when you get a bank valuation, how do you know if that bank valuation is important in order for you to purchase the property or not important? You know what I mean? That's one of those things. Like,
you just don't know.
Well, you do know.
You don't have the experience.
Well, I do know because I've done it many times. But
I'm talking about the average person who's never invested in property, just wouldn't know.
No, exactly. And these little decisions, each step of the way. So what happens is, as you go along your property investing journey, there's forks in the road, right? And there's multiple
decision diamonds.
Yeah, there's forks in the road. Really, there's forks in the road. So you can go left, go right, go left, go right. Now, if you keep taking the wrong fork, you could end up in the middle of nowhere.
You end up forked if you take the wrong fork.
Or you can actually end up creating wealth for the rest of your life. And what's happened, and this is the sad thing, is 2/3 of property investors are losing money. And what I was going to do is just go through a bit of the news, because I like to tell people what's happening in news in property at the moment.
That is sad. Yeah.
So Metricon. Metricon is the largest home builder, and they've just started the process of cancelling all their fixed price contracts.
Is that the largest builder in Australia currently?
Yes, largest builder in Australia. They're cancelling all their fixed price contracts, and then what they're doing is saying, this is your choice, pay us more or see you later.
Yeah.
Now, That's very tough. But this is the challenge, right? Builders have had it tough. Like, they've never had it this tough in history.
Right.
So insolvencies is just crazy. So the amount of businesses that are closing down, right? We've had a 72% increase in insolvencies over the last year with builders. You know what that means? Nearly double the amount of builders have gone broke this year compared to last year.
Yeah, that's a big percentage.
Nick's saying, are they legally allowed to do that? Look, they're the biggest builder. I'm sure they know what they're doing, and I'd imagine they've got their legal team all over that. So yeah, they probably are allowed to do that.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Look,
and
the thing is though, let's say for example, Metricon weren't allowed to cancel the contracts or change the price,
mm-hmm.
and then they went broke, and then everyone ended up with a half-built house. No one's going to win out of that. So the challenge is, how do we create a win-win situation? Because at the end of the day, that's the key. Now, there's another interesting thing happening at the moment, which is fascinating, right? And I see this happen. Like, I've seen this happen over and over again. I've been investing for 30 years now.
Okay.
What I see every 5 to 7 years, I see the same phenomena. Guess what's happening at the moment? The panicky investors are all selling their investment properties.
Right, because of high interest rates?
No, because they're panicking. They're like, shit, I haven't made any money, I'm out of here. So this is the deal. What happens is usually most...
You've got a green light flashing on your head, George.
I can't see it.
Can anyone else see that green light? It's very distracting. It's very distracting. It's like illuminating your forehead.
Okay, I'm sorry. How's that? Is that better?
It's still there. We need a little piece of sticky paper over that.
You're gonna have to deal with it. For now, I can't really do anything now. Maybe later on. Now, I might have to pop out for a quick minute in a second anyway, because I've actually bought a massive big tuna head and I've got it in the barbecue at the moment. It is 15 kilos worth of tuna head, so it should be interesting.
George, what did the fish ever do to you?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know.
So let me explain. Usually when you go to realestate.com and domain, most of the properties are either developers, right? Or people selling their home because they're changing homes. Mm-hmm. Now, 40% of all properties for sale are actually investors jumping out.
Wow.
I'm talking, they're all jumping overboard like crazy. Now, I saw this happen in 2009.
And that's a bit of herd mentality as well, with the sheep just follow whenever.
No, the lemmings are just jumping over. Now, the thing is, this is the deal. It's crazy how people wait to the finish line, right? And then they just quit just before. Because these people are literally at the finish line. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah, but they just can't see it. That's the challenge, And until they have that internal shift, the money they attract externally will never come to them.
Yeah, no, exactly. And that's why 2/3 of investors lose money. As you can see, 40% of investors, which is nearly 2/3, are bailing out right now.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's just a lack of understanding. It's fear-based actions.
Of course it's fear-based.
Not education-based actions, because an educated person would not be doing that.
No, look, property investing is not easy. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it. Now, the other thing is sticking through, because property investing is a long-term game. The more time you've got in property investing, the more money you make. So,
100%.
So is it good to buy that type of investment?
Depending on the strategy. And the times are tough as well is especially not easy.
Yeah. Alex is just saying, is it good to buy that type of investment? Yes, sometimes it is. So the deal is you've got to look at your strategy, and you've got to look at what type of property you need for your portfolio. So if you need tax deductions, these properties are no good for you. But if you don't need tax deductions, they're excellent properties. Mm-hmm. That's the deal. So everything, when it comes to buying property, you really got to look at the whole picture and find out what your goal is, what your capability is, so you can get the right vehicle to get you there. Because,
Yeah.
the thing is, depending on the family, like if you've got 4 kids, you need a van. But if you've got 1 kid, you can have a Porsche. And same with property investing, depending on what you're looking for, a different vehicle, different type of property is going to suit you better. And that's the way it is. Most people that we deal with, they want tax deductions. So what we do is help them get properties that have massive tax deductions, actually $80,000 each.
But what our strategy is really good at as well is capital growth.
Yes.
That's where the real money's made in property long term.
That's the key, and that's what we do really well.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah, but let me talk about valuations. And when evaluations
talk away. You have my permission. You have the floor.
Thank you. And in 6 minutes, I need to go check the tuna so it doesn't burn. So the deal is valuations. With valuations, a lot of people, when they're buying a property, and let's say you've got a property worth, you're buying it for 350,000. Let's say 450,000, more reasonable these days. And then you get a valuation of the property. The valuation is just an opinion of some guy that looked at it online and did a bit of research. Now, sometimes they can get it right if they do the research and look at your house, but normally they don't even come and look at your house. But most times they get it wrong.
Normally they do what's called a desktop valuation.
Yes. So they sit on their desk and go, oh, yeah, I think it's worth this much. Now, the thing is, so basically what the deal is the challenge is most of these people don't know what they're doing, and they've got to follow bank policy. And usually banks are very conservative.
That's right.
And because what they want to do, the bank, is they want to reduce their risk, increase their profit. So if a house is worth 500,000, their valuer is going to say it's worth 450, right? Because they don't want to give you that 500, they want to give you less, because then you've got more equity. So, so the only thing a valuation is good for is getting a loan, right? That's it. That's what it's good for, because you need a certain amount of equity to get the loan. But that's all. So people that fool themselves into thinking that if you get a good valuation, it means you've got the right property, or you get a bad valuation, you've got a bad property. That's nothing further from the truth. It doesn't matter.
You can't use it to justify whether it's good or bad property. It just doesn't even come into the equation.
Well, when I've had valuations, 5 different valuations on a property, there were 5 different numbers, and they don't justify it, they're just numbers.
Through 5 different banks.
Yes, so no, 2 of them were through the same bank, and they were different. They came back different. So the thing is, people get caught up in the wrong things, right? And basically, a valuation by a bank, by one person in time, has got no bearing on what if your property is worthwhile or not. What you need to do, you need to get back to the fundamentals and see, is the fundamentals right? Do the numbers work? Is this property going to go up? And that's the key. And that's what people
George, just going back to that example with that $500,000 property, that's, let's say the valuation has come in at 450, and then 2 years later, that property goes up and is now worth 700,000. That's the 200,000 that you're leaving on the table because of the 50,000
yes,
upfront.
Yes, that's
that
right.
You could use equity to do.
That's right. Yes, that's right. And look, so
this is the $200,000 that you're leaving on the table currently.
Exactly. And you've got plenty of examples, and I'd love you to share an example.
I've got real life examples that I'm actually I'm going to save for our members in our private group that we'll be heading over to in about 5 minutes' time. And I'm going to go through some examples. I'm going to get a time machine. We're going to go back and take a look at some properties that
why don't you let us peek under the cover and share an example of the team here? Right.
Okay.
I mean, why not?
Who wants a real life example? I need a bit of encouragement to do this.
I think if you do a real life example, I'm going to go check the tuna and turn it around, and I'll see you guys later. Someone has said, George, I want to use my super to invest. Can you guys help? Maybe we have got a super specialist that we work with, Mick. So Mick, what you need to do is reach out to the team, type in #WealthCall. One of the team will reach out to you and book you in and see if we can help. And if we can't, we're going to send you the right direction. I'm going to go check this tuna head. I'll be back And I want to, if you can share that example and give me a recap.
Absolutely. I'd love to share the example. Thank you, George. Bye-bye, George.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, you've got me, Christina Markowski is in the house. So I'm going to go through an example. So this was in 2018. So we had a property and the purchase price was $420,000. Valuation came in at $390,000. So if you're doing the math along with me, so we've got a difference here of $30,000. So $30,000 that would have to be put in extra to proceed with this purchase. Thankfully, we did go ahead with that and we chipped in the extra. We paid the extra $30,000 just through using equity that we had available in existing house. And then based on today's numbers, the current price of this property is $785,000. So let's do the math. Let's take away the original purchase price versus what it is today. So we've got a profit here of $365,000. Now, I know we said the $200,000 that you're leaving on the table, but this just goes to show that even those numbers are conservative. I would have actually left $365,000 on the table if I didn't chip in the initial $30,000. And let's be even more conservative. Let's take off that initial $30,000 that I had to invest. So let's say I only made $335,000. Is that still good? Absolutely. So that's the money that we're leaving on the table, guys. It's just a numbers game ultimately. And what it comes down to is instead of getting caught up on a bad bank valuation or things like that, you need to think about the ROI and the money you're putting in versus your return that you're going to get. So those are the numbers, and clearly it was worthwhile.
Yeah, look, I've purchased over 45 properties in my lifetime. So quite a few. And I can say that every single property, sorry, I'm puffed out, I've been running up and down the stairs. I can say that every property I've bought.
Is the fish giving you a workout there, George?
Christina, this fish is so good. It is amazing. You're going to love it. It is perfect.
Awesome.
Because we went to Japan a couple of months ago, and we met this amazing sushi chef called Sushi Inoso, and he cooked the tuna head for this couple, and we tried a bit, and it was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Just going back to the valuation and the numbers that I was just sharing with the real life example here that we have for our members.
Yep.
I just want to
What suburb was that?
This was, let me just look, Callanvale. So this is
Callanvale. Yeah, exactly.
Callanvale.
I remember that. Yeah,
this is a suburb in Queensland.
With Callanvale, we actually got exclusivity to that development, and we ended up getting, I think, about 120 of those. And so we helped 120 people buy property, and these 120 people, how much have they made? I reckon Callanvale, let me guess. How much did they pay? Let me guess. Let's see if I can get it right.
Okay.
They paid around $420,000.
Correct. That was purchase price. Yeah.
I reckon now they're probably worth between $720,000 and $850,000.
Current market price is $785,000.
Right in the middle.
On the money.
Also,
so the profit, if we're just doing the math again, I just want to recap because we've got to wrap up. We've got 1 minute to land this plane.
Tell me the profit.
Profit is $365,000. Now, if we break that down yearly, because obviously they've held it for quite a few years over the last 5 years, that's a yearly income of $73,000, just over $73,000.
And you haven't included the rent increases either.
I haven't included rent or tax deductions. That's just the original the growth.
Yeah, because I remember these properties, the original rent actually more than covered, and they were positive $100 a week. But now they're probably positive $300-400 a week. So that's another $20,000 a year that they're getting. Yeah. So look, there's one thing I want to talk about before we leave. Okay, so let me jump in. We have decided, And because what we did is last year, earlier this year in February, we actually pulled back the curtains and allowed people to come and test drive our program for free.
Yes.
We call it the 5-day test drive. Now, we've
5-day
decided,
test drive.
we've been away for a while. We've got a lot of people asking about our program. And, I think, who likes to try before they buy? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'll tell you what I'm doing. Well, I'll tell you what I'm doing.
Like
And this is probably the last time I'm doing it for free, because a lot of people say I can charge for this, and I'm going to do it for free. I'm actually going to be giving people a 5-day test drive of our program, where you get in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and we teach you everything on how to invest in property. We're going to teach you how to get ready, how to get market ready, how to get the banks to say yes, how to structure your loan, how to find the top 200 properties in Australia, all that stuff. I'm going to be sharing everything. And the reason we do this, right? I'll tell you the reason, and I'll tell you why. What we're doing is this is our way. We want to give a lot of value to you. So one or two things are going to happen. You're going to go away and go, wow, this is great, and go out there and invest in property and do well, which is great because that helps my goal of empowering 10,000 people. Or you might say, wow, that's amazing. You guys are amazing. This is so valuable. I want to pay for your program and join and get you guys to do it for us. And either way, I'm happy. I don't care, right? We've got 380 people registered so far, and our cutoff is 400. So we've only got 20 spaces left. So guys, if you want to come along to the 5-day challenge, you want to hang out with me and Christina and Robert Kiyosaki.
5-day test drive.
Yep. If you want to hang out with me, Robert Kiyosaki and Christina, what you need to do is you need to type in hashtag 5 days, and our team will reach out and give you the tickets. Only first 20, and that's it.
Nice. Woohoo! How exciting!
I know, very exciting. Now we're going to go to our private group, and we're going to what we do. You know what's fun today? What we're going to be doing with our private group is we're going to be going through some live examples of how much money people made. I love this. It's going to be very exciting. It's going to be awesome.
It's awesome. I love sharing our results, and I love being transparent about, how I've helped people, because it's a beautiful thing. It's the gift that keeps giving.
Christina, you are an exceptional property coach. You're brilliant. You're really good at what
Thank you, George. Well, it takes one to know one. I must say you're an exceptional property coach too.
Thank you so much. Look, guys. One thing I want to say
we could
is
sit here and blow smoke up each other's ass all day, but we've got to get over to our private group.
Yeah, but one thing I want to say is we've spent the last couple of months traveling, but also learning how to serve more, and we want to serve you, our audience, better. And I just want to say that I've been away from you for a while, so there's big love coming from me and Christina to you guys out there, okay? Cheers.
Absolutely.
See you next week, guys. Bye-bye.
See you then.